So we're going to break down Alex Hormozi's entire framework for building wealth. Now, you can think of the journey to wealth like trying to navigate a huge, complicated city. Most of us, we're just kind of wandering around without a map. What Hormozi gives us isn't some guarantee, but it's maybe even more valuable. It's a clear map that shows all the different roads you can take to get to financial freedom.
So let's just start with a really fundamental question, something for you to think about right now. Are you playing the right money game? Because you see, according to Hormozi, getting wealthy isn't just about how hard you work. It's about really understanding the rules of the game you're in, and, maybe more importantly, knowing that there are completely different games you could be playing instead.
You know, society pretty much hands us a default path, right? Go to school, get a good job, get a mortgage. We just play the game we're told to play. But Hormozi's whole idea is that this is just one game out of many. And if your goal is to build significant wealth, it's probably the wrong one. The whole key is to choose your game on purpose.
All right, so let's get into the map itself. Hormozi breaks down the whole wealth creation journey into 4 main vehicles. You can think of these as different levels in a video game, or maybe different tracks in a race. Just figuring out which one you're on right now, that's the very first step to figuring out where you're headed.
Okay, first up, we've got employment. This is the default game, the one most of us start in. Hormozi actually sees this as a kind of paid apprenticeship. It's predictable, it's low risk, you get benefits. But the trade-off here is massive. Your income has a ceiling, and the second you stop working, the money stops coming in.
And its analogy for this is perfect. A job is like riding a bicycle. You have to keep pedaling every single second just to stay balanced. The moment you stop pedaling, your income just grinds to a halt. You fall over.
The next level up is self-employment. Think freelancers, consultants, solo practitioners. You get to charge higher rates, you have way more freedom, which is great, but the fundamental problem is still there. You are still trading your time for money. You might have gotten rid of your boss, but you haven't escaped the clock.
So for this one, the vehicle is a car. You've got more control, right? You pick the destination, you control the speed. But at the end of the day, you still have to be in that driver's seat for the entire trip.
Now, vehicle number 3. Business ownership, this is where things really start to accelerate. This is the big leap from selling your time to building a system. You're creating an asset that makes money without you. The potential for scale is it's unlimited, but so are the risks and the responsibilities that come with it.
With a business, you're not on a bike, you're not in a car, you own the whole train. Your job isn't to be down there shoveling coal. Your job is to design the engine and lay the tracks so that train keeps moving forward whether you're on board or not.
And finally, we get to investing. This is the end game. This is where your money itself becomes your hardest working employee, building more wealth for you through passive growth and the magic of compounding. But here's the catch, right? You need capital to start, and you absolutely need knowledge and a ton of patience to play this game well.
The final analogy is just beautiful. It's like planting orchards. You're no longer just picking apples one by one. You're planting trees. These are your assets that are going to bear fruit for decades with very little effort from you once they're fully grown.
Okay, so we've got the 4 vehicles, but how do you actually move faster through them? Well, that brings us to the idea of leverage. You should think of these as the power-ups in the game of wealth, the things that let you multiply your impact way beyond what you could ever do on your own.
Hormozi points out 4 main types of leverage. First, there's labor. That's just hiring people. Then there's capital, using your money to make more money. Then you've got code. This is software, automation, stuff that can serve millions of people with almost zero extra cost. And finally, content, like a YouTube video, a podcast, a book. It's media that keeps working for you 24/7, long after you hit publish. And the wealthiest people, they don't just use one of these, they stack them all together.
All right, now before we lay out the final playbook, Hormozi has a really critical warning. It's a hidden trap that so many ambitious, successful people fall right into. And it's the reason why a huge paycheck doesn't automatically mean you're wealthy.
So let's just look at this number, £250,000 a year. I mean, for most people, that's an incredible income. It screams success, right? You're skilled, you work hard. A doctor, a top lawyer, a high-end consultant, they might be earning this, or even more.
But here is the question that gets right to the very heart of Hormozi's philosophy. Is this income the same thing as wealth? I mean, if that person has to show up every single day and trade their valuable time to earn it, are they actually free?
And Hormozi's answer is a clear no.
High income by itself is not wealth. He calls this the golden hamster wheel. It's a cage, but it's a really shiny, fast-spinning one. It looks amazing from the outside, but you're still trapped running in place. See, real wealth isn't about the size of your paycheck. It's about owning assets that make money for you, whether you decide to get out of bed in the morning or not.
All right, so we've looked at the vehicles, we've got the power-ups, and we've spotted the traps. So how do we actually put all this together? Well, that brings us to the final, most actionable part of this whole framework, a 6-stage playbook that can guide your journey from one vehicle to the next.
Here it is, the roadmap. Stage 1 is learn. Use your job as a paid apprenticeship to soak up skills. Stage 2 is monetize. Take that skill you learned and sell it directly as a freelancer or consultant. Stage 3, systemize. This is where you stop being the person doing the work and instead build a business around repeatable processes. Stage 4 is scale. Apply that leverage we talked about, labor, code, capital, to grow. Stage 5, invest. Take the profits from your business and buy other assets. And finally, the hardest part, stage 6 is compound. Just be patient and let time do all the heavy lifting for you. These aren't just strategies, they're like the different seasons of your financial life.
And all of that leaves us with one final, and honestly the most important question of all. Looking at this map, which vehicle are you in right now? And once you know exactly where you are, the real question becomes, what's the next bridge you need to build, and when are you going to start crossing it?